Welcome back. So yeah, everything that you've mentioned in the previous part with the e-learning and um with the commercials and the usages and a lot of this other stuff that you mentioned before, it's kind of like yeah, like
It's a whole nother
um,
world.
yeah, it's a whole different world, like residuals and stuff like um I know that there's been a lot going on with, like strikes and the newest technology and all of this what have you that's been happening in the industry. So who knows what's gonna happen, but all we could do, we just gotta keep moving forward and nowhere else to go but up. Am I right? I'm
Yeah,
an optimist.
yeah. I think there's a lot of people that are doing like voices.com, the online pay to plays, which is absolutely great. I think it's important for people to be aware that working on text to speech and AI projects is only detrimental to you, your future work, and the community, and that just avoid it for the sake of yourselves and for the rest of us. Um, yeah.
Yeah. And I know with remote recording, it's definitely picked up. Like, VO has kind of been getting a lot busier over these last 3 years, and I honestly couldn't be more grateful and thankful for that. Like, really busy, you know?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
even Verite Entertainment was accepting demos. They were, I believe they do Skyrim Online or Elder Scrolls Online for example. They do a lot of stuff. But yeah, everyone was freaking out during the pandemic, but a lot of casting, a lot of studios are asking actors to come in. Um they've got the building, they've got this equipment. They want to standardize their recordings for their games, their projects, which I think is absolutely fine. I mean, it's great, the opportunities for remote. Um, just make sure your space is treated right for the sake of having those opportunities for others. Because when we have somebody come in and record from their home booth and it's not treated correctly or they've got some boxiness to it, they either can't use it or it just affects the quality of it overall. So just there's lots of resources out there. Just read them, stay aware of what's happening, the trends in the industry, and just make sure you've got a good space.
Yeah. And I think we can all agree that that's the one silver lining during this whole, crisis.
Yeah, absolutely. I think studios and production just they had no idea. They had no idea that people were recording in a standalone booths, closets, or even had the concept of that people could do that because it just it wasn't a standard until well, I mean, other than for commercial. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, definitely. So, how has the last few years, like, I don't want to say affected, but how are you able to, I guess, adapt to these new changes?
for me, that looked like getting a Neumann and a Sennheiser 416. I also bought a Whisper Room, and for me, I was very blessed that over the years of the pandemic, I got more work than I'd ever had, and every year it's been going consistently up, which is insane to me to be able to live off of it. I only went full time over the past I think 4 years, um, and I think honestly I just needed encouragement to do it because there's a lot of actors out there who absolutely can do it, but they don't believe in themselves, don't have the confidence to like leave that day job. Of course, absolutely do not leave your day job if you can't live off of voiceover. Um, try to get some clients, consistent ones if you can. Always keep auditioning, and it is doable. I personally recommend Gina Scarpa for voiceover business training, stuff like that. They will kind of help you make a plan on how to scale your business upward. Um, shout out. Um, also, there's conference. There are conferences for voiceover. Voiceover Atlanta, One Voice. There's another one. Mavo up in DC at the Westin. There's a lot of conferences, and Voice Over Atlanta is a fantastic resource. Of course, you got to get your flight there, you got to get your hotel, but the sheer amount of stuff you learn, it's I want to say 545 to $600. But if you can save that, a normal voiceover class is about typically like 100, $200, and that's for a group class, right? Voiceover Atlanta, uh, who's run by J. Michael Tatum. Not J. Michael Tatum. Oh my goodness, J. Michael Collins. I was close. JMC.
Don't worry,
JMC.
I
was
gotta
like,
get
whoa.
them mixed up too. Don't worry, you're not the only one, man.
Dab.
Michael Tatum,
But it's
yeah.
like going to 8 to 16 hours of classes for $600. It is an insane value. You learn so much. There are, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like maybe 8 or more classes per day, and there's so many different options. There's like museum narration, like talking about how to do audio guides for museum tours, which is insanely cool. The guy who narrates the tours for the Vatican, he was there this last time, which is cool. Alice Everdeen, who you may have seen like some stories about her on like MSNBC, stuff like that. She lives in a bus or a van and does voiceover on the road. She did that all from Fiverr. I think she's on the 6-7 figure mark from Fiverr, and she charges decent rates. There's just so many people. Daniel Ross was there, the voice of Donald Duck. Goofy was there. It's insane. It's insane. Definitely recommend going to at least one.
Yeah, it seems that you really look up to a lot of these people.
Yeah, they're voiceover heroes. Like JMC is the I like to call him like the 1%er of the voiceover community. He lives in Europe half the time, the United States half the time. And he's always touring, always coaching, always he makes demos. Yeah, he knows his business.
Yeah, anybody else that you cite as an inspiration, whether it be family, friends, VO artists, just just share your love and just give your shout outs if you may.
Sure. Andrew Morrison, VO Coffee Shop Podcast. Shout out. Good boy. Tom Aglio, marketing genius for
Hey
voiceover.
Tom, I had him on here too.
Super great. Yeah. Karen Gilfrey, one of the top bookers on voices.com. Super nice, super great. Joe Zija, I recommend his program. Joe Zija is really great. He has a TikTok. Check out his TikTok. It's all about how to make different voices and how to add those different textures and adding these multiple points up to make these different kind of voices. Yeah, just everyone, almost everyone in our community is just incredible. It's the people on the higher level, they like to send the elevator back down, as we like to say. They like to bring people in and try to give them the opportunity to have these chances to grow their business and have these opportunities. And like Genshin Impact's a good example of that. Like there's a lot of people in Genshin that were not known, had no real presence that people knew of, but now people know them by name. You know what I mean? So yeah, there's just a lot of really great people, really great projects out there that are, yeah, I props.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'd be here all day just listing my influences. um, but yeah, what is something that you like to do? Like, I don't want to say hobby, but anything else that you've kind of picked up, you know, over the last few years on top of VO and all this other stuff that you do on a day-to-day basis?
Well, video games because I'm legally required to.
Hey, video games. Yeah.
I've gotten into Gunpla recently, Gundam kits. That's fun. Cooking's great. I love making a good fettuccine alfredo. Yeah, that's pretty much me. I'm I'm honestly pretty boring. I love movies. I get like the movie passes so you can go like multiple times a week for like your monthly fee. Spider-Verse.
Oh my god,
New Transformers is also good. It's somehow beating out Spider-Verse. I don't get that, but whatever.
that is my new hyperfixation.
It's
Spider-Verse.
incredible.
Yes.
Absolutely incredible. Better than the first one.
Mm. I see you're a man of culture. Oh yeah. I mean, I do have both movies are really good. I personally have a softer spot for the first one, but wow, they really went above and beyond in the second one.
Seriously.
Oh my gosh, man. Ugh. That should be a podcast episode on its own. My goodness gracious, just talking
Mm,
about Spider-Man. Because that is actually my favorite superhero
same.
next to Batman. Yeah. Yeah. Um, but yeah, let's talk about like, the stuff that you grew up with. Like we could just discuss like, any piece of media that left, an impression on you, impression that you cite to be like as one of the main reasons why you're doing this. And yeah, just stuff that you just really love and enjoy and just gush all about them, you know?
So I don't remember most of my childhood, but Doug, Thomas, Rocket Power, uh, Jimmy Neutron, like the usual millennial 90s shows, but I had no idea that it was voiceover. It never even crossed my mind. It's like, oh, I'm watching these stories, right? What's interesting about m- me kind of in that child space that looking back, I kind of like, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to be doing is so my parents are from Texas and Oklahoma, which naturally have somewhat of a southern accent. So I'm 7 and they're like, "Hey, let's record you can let's record your voice doing the voicemail." And I'm like, "Okay." Because who wants to do that? Um so I did it and I had no idea I had an accent. So I record the thing and it's, "Thank you for calling the Bullock residence. We are not available to come to the phone right now." And I'm like, "Ugh, I have an accent? No." And so I spent the next like couple months actively at 7 choosing to get rid of my accent. So anytime I would say something that would slip into country, I'll be like, "I'm sorry about that." "Excuse me, I am sorry about that." And just over enunciating everything. It's like, I refuse to have an accent.
No.
And so, like, doing like pterodactyl sounds, doing all like crazy sounds as a kid, like, it's so interesting to look back on that and be like, this is my career. You know what I mean?
Yes, I refuse. I should not have this. Rawr.
I reject.
Roar. No, I reject thee.
Yeah.
Imagine making the pterodactyl roars like, rawr, son.
Nice.
Uh, now I say boy, I say raw. Now pay attention, son. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Rawr.
And what's
That's
really
how you do it.
interesting that I checked out your channel and you doing the other interviews, and
Yeah.
when I first started voiceover, when I started doing Voice Acting Alliance, like 2011, 2012, I believe, I started doing voice actor interviews too. And that was probably one of the most helpful things for my career because I would like to always ask him, like, what's one thing that you didn't know when you started, or like that you uh, learned or you recommend, or and any advice that you have for a new voice actor. And I learned so incredibly much from that. So you're on the right track.
Oh, thank you. I definitely appreciate it. But I don't always do interviews. Check out my channel for really dumb comic dubs. I don't know. Okay, there's like one, and I posted about this like, I don't know, yesterday, but there's a Zelda comic dub that I did that is really popping off for some reason. Like, I don't
That's the
know if
way to
it's
get
the.
popular. I mean, absolutely mean this. Comic dubs are the number one way to get popular as a voice actor on YouTube.
Yeah, it's like I work. Okay, not to be that guy, but like I really enjoy doing these interviews, and then these comic dubs that I do, I'm just like, "Oh, okay, I might as well just do this for fun." Wait a minute, what hold on, what? Over 10K views? Like, okay, over 112K views? Like, what? 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 Okay,
People
I'm
love
sorry,
comic
what?
dubs.
And exactly, and it's like excuse me, that particular one, it's 15 seconds long. Like, it's not even, like, 30 seconds long, and it still managed to
Right, you
get,
wouldn't even
like
think it hit the algorithm.
I know, I didn't think so either, but, I guess that's how it be sometimes. Like, you just post something like, "Bloop," then just get some voice actor friends of yours and, just put it all together, and then boom, just do it. Just put it out there, and then all of a sudden, people really seem to like it. Like, no joke, like, my notifications are still, like, blowing up on my channel. That is wild, you know?
That's the way to do it.
YouTube is kind of no, I noticed that YouTube and TikTok is where they kind of seem to really, take off.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, TikTok, like, especially, like, I know that I don't know if they're banning it. I'm not really too educated on that, but I know that TikTok is also another platform where, you know, voice actors can post content and, they're really starting to, gain
Yeah,
a
the
following.
number one
Yeah.
way to grow on TikTok as a voice actor is to post and act the little scripts. You know what I'm talking about? Those kind of videos?
Yes! Oh my
Yeah.
gosh,
Yep.
yeah.
That's the way to do
For
it.
the scripts, oh my gosh, yeah. I should probably do one of those someday. I don't know. Yeah, because my brain is kind of like one thing and then next thing it's like, you know.
For sure.
Yeah. Um, but it's really cool that you actually also did interviews. And that was actually one of the questions too, is like, um, so I know that you've learned a lot from doing interviews with other voice actors, but what was the number one thing that really stood out to you from doing those a long time ago?
Be yourself, stick with it, always learn.
Bingo. Now, I know you were asking, like, so what is something that you wish you learned? So that is something I wanted to ask you. Like, what is something that when you first got started and where you are right now, what's something that you really wish that you learned a lot earlier, sooner, prior to your start, like
Use your
starting
own
out?
voice. Don't try to sound like anyone else in your audition.
Bingo.
Don't try
Yeah.
to be like, oh, this character would probably be voiced by Todd Habercorn. All right, I'm gonna sound like Todd Habercorn. Okay.
Yeah, okay, everybody has that Todd Abercorn sound. Maybe I should do something like that.
Yeah,
Or
pretty
maybe
much.
do the Johnny Young Bosch.
Yeah, yeah. Luckily, the Johnny impressions have kind of tapered off, which is
Yeah,
nice.
yeah. Because trust me, everybody was okay, I'm not I'm saying this, and I'm probably gonna call out a few people that I've had on here. I'm probably gonna call out some people on here. I'm not saying that it's bad. Like, once again, impressions, not bad at all, but it's really much better to find I mean, it's eventually we find our own, little
Style.
niches, our own style. So it's like, yeah, I think this kind of tapern, But anyways, I don't think I've really done this before, but do you have any questions for me in particular?
What's something you feel like you're struggling with?
Honestly, just getting up. I mean, I okay, not like, I don't really like I know that a lot of us we tend to struggle with, getting in the booth every day and just actually recording.
Consistency.
Yeah, consistency, bingo.
Yeah.
So
Best way that
that's
I've
the number
discovered
one.
to, at least for me, I have ADHD, so it's just it
Oh,
can be a lot.
dude,
But
yeah.
the best way to
Neurodivergence.
do it is honestly talk out loud to yourself. Like, all right, come on, man, we got to record. Oh man, I don't want to. Come on, just do it. There's only a little bit to do. Just get it done. Fine. And I found that works so well for me.
Oh, totally. And that, and I've also kind of been going through like a bit of a burnout type of, feeling where it's like Why? Okay. I know I've got this going on, but it's like, do I even want to do it? It's kind of like, um, I mean, doing these is no problem. Like doing the podcast because I really love doing these, and that kind of actually gives me the motivation and the energy to actually, continue doing VO.
Yeah.
It's like if there's something like because I know there's the temptations of just slacking off until the last second to do that audition that you're supposed to do.
So
Yeah.
for procrastinating, I'm not recommending procrastinating, but at least for me, I find that I give my best performances under that pressure because I'm like, I have to get this done right
Right?
now. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
But the way to fix that, at least for me, was pull up all the auditions you got to do in multiple tabs on your browser
Oh, that works
and
so
go on your
well.
phone,
Yeah.
put on your calendar the deadline for them. Hopefully they're on different days. Put the deadline on them on there for them. Give yourself an hour to 2 hour timer to get those done. That way you won't miss the auditions. You'll get them turned in on time. You'll feel good that you actually followed through. And it gives you that external motivation. Be like, I got to get this done now because I'm telling myself to through this. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So put on your big boy pants and do it.
TLDR, just do it.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That does sound really helpful?
It is. It is. I used to forget so many things. So many missed appointments.
God, yeah, don't worry. Our brains are kind of like, they're all over the place?
Yep. It's like, oh no, I'll remember it.
Yes,
3
I'll
hours
definitely,
later.
I'll remember it 3 hours later. My excuse is just,
Life
screw
is
this
strange.
person.
He would not, in
Yes,
fact, remember that.
yeah, life is strange. Should I make excuses or should I actually do the thing?
Hmm.
Do the thing! Make excuses. Do the thing. Make excuse. Hmm. I think I should probably work out.
Yeah, it's increased my lung capacity
Oh,
immensely.
totally.
Over the last like 7 months, I've been going to the gym very consistently. I've lost a
Exercise,
bunch
yeah.
of weight. My lung capacity's
Oh,
increased, which has
awesome.
been great. Um, Water intake. Here's a really great thing that I recommend, and I've actually have my my family doing this. Um, you know those 5 gallon water jugs?
Oh, yeah.
Get one of those. Put it near your booth or in your room. Um, they also usually sell somewhere nearby to that a push dispenser. You put that on there. You put that on the jug. Put a glass next to it. Anytime you enter or exit that room, have a glass of water. You will notice incredible change in your body, your mood, your voice. Can't recommend enough.
Go outside.
Touch grass.
Yeah. Soak in that good old vitamin D with that good old sunny D. Vitamin C, vitamin D, all that good jazz. Yeah. Just soak in that sunshine, but just go outside, even if the sun isn't out on during this particular recording. It's always good to get at least some activity outside. It really does help a lot.
Yeah.
It keeps your brain in check, keeps your body in check, and you're healthy and not just staying indoors all day, cooped up playing video games
Yeah.
and doing nothing.
I've got a project that is due here in a little bit, so I got to get going. But one last
Totally.
thing I would like to say, you cannot bring an authentic, truthful performance without living life. And it's very hard to be vulnerable, especially in voiceover, because a lot of us, especially those on the spectrum of like including myself, can find it difficult to be vulnerable and be caught without answers. And being out of control can be very make it very hard for you to want to go and try anything new or anything that's out of your comfort zone. But the more that you do that, and even starting slowly is going to give you so much more confidence, and you can bring those experiences, those life experiences to your performance. Because for a lot of people on the spectrum, myself included, I learned voiceover incredibly wrong. I learned and taught myself how to imitate and, oh, this is supposed to sound like this, instead of actually feeling it and diving into the emotion because it's scary. It can be scary to be out of control. And but you find that once you do start experiencing that and allowing yourself to get into it in a healthy way, that you will bring out some of the most beautiful performances because for those of us that are on that spectrum, we do feel so deeply that we bring a even deeper authenticity than people who are hyper trained actors know how to do everything right because it is real, it's raw. We just go outside and experience it because there's so much out there for you to do and to try and to grow as an actor, as a voice talent. And I can't recommend that enough because I've seen a huge change in my life, my performances. I used to be stuck in that anime read myself, but bringing it down and slowing down, even choosing to talk slower, because it's very easy, being ADHD even to speak so incredibly fast because sometimes you're not used to being heard. You're not used to people giving you the opportunity to speak, and so you want to get everything out that you can to make sure that you get your moment to speak. You want your turn, but just give yourself the freedom to be vulnerable in your performances. I know of many actors who have allowed themselves to cry in the booth because the memory that they used to get that character where they wanted them to go was hard for them. And it can be healing. It's we have a very interesting profession.
Absolutely, man. I mean, this is why we love doing this, you know? Every day, just getting it out there
Yeah.
and just doing it. Yeah. So, let's see. Anything else that you want to share or promote? Like your social media? Just, I don't know, any recent stuff that you've done without, I mean, not, obviously not, the stuff that is currently, under, NDA and stuff, but just anything that else that you want to share? Like any last goodbyes? Just anything that you just want to throw out there before we conclude this episode?
Sure. Um, my Twitter is at John David Talent. Um, I also do classes. I usually charge $30 an hour. I'd love to work with anyone who wants to know or understand more about the profession and help you get to where you're wanting to go. I do teach commercial and character work. Um, yeah, I hope what I said helps everybody. There's a lot of things about voiceover that you may not have even considered, and I'd love to help you guys out with that.
Yeah, so teaching, coaching, that's something that you've sort of dabbled into lately?
Yeah, over the last couple of years, I had somebody encourage me like, "You really know what you're talking about. You should coach." And I'm like, no,
No.
But I got my first student. I over the course of 4 months, they booked their first game, um, and they started booking more work than me. So I was like, okay, I guess I know what I'm doing. So
Question mark?
yeah,
I know what I'm doing, question mark? Every voice actor bio on
pretty much.
yes, pretty much. I mean, I think I'm professional?
If you've gotten paid,
When's
you're a professional voice actor. It is
yes.
different though for casting. If you've only cast one thing, you've done casting, you're not a casting director. You have to you have to have a decent amount of things under your belt. Like Reese Bridger, they're a casting director. They've got projects coming pretty consistently. That's a good example of a casting director.
Yeah, how's it like being on the other side of the glass?
Pretty great, pretty great. I do love casting. It's so fun to be able to help a project bring their characters to life. Um, yeah.
Yeah. Going back to the professional thing, it's like, I mean, I think I know what I'm doing. Wins an Emmy Award for the outstanding performance on Muppet Babies. I'm talking to you, Ben Diskin. I'm kidding. I love you, Ben.
Ben's super cool.
Yeah, he really is. But yeah, I don't mean to call you out publicly. You know, I don't know. But anyways, outro. What would your last like closing outro? I don't know. Would be for this.
Honestly, I'd say the same thing that all the other voice actors told me as I was interviewing them. Be yourself, use your normal voice, and build off of that to create your characters. If you can do a crazy voice that's healthy for you, do it, but make sure it's authentic, make sure it's healthy, safe for your voice, doesn't cause you to develop polyps or nodules. Um, and stick with it. The burnout is normal. Voiceover is a cycle. Everyone goes through it. Everyone goes through these patterns of I booked this. I cannot believe it. This is incredible. I'm so happy. I'm not booking anything. I'm the worst voice actor on the planet. Help. I'm gonna quit. It's a cycle. It's a cycle.
I might actually make a TikTok. Yes, everything's going well. And then the next day, I'm terrible.
Facts.
Yeah. So I guess on that note, thank you for listening. And yeah, thank you, Jonathan, for stopping by. And this has been a quite a lovely conversation that we've had. And we've, just rambled for like an hour, which is totally what I was expecting. So yeah, that's on me for wanting to do this anyway. So thank you so much for, you know, just, joining me on these, spiels. I don't
Absolutely. I'm
even know what
always glad to share what I know.
yeah, I don't even know what these are called anymore. Conversations? I don't know. My brain is running at 100 miles per hour all the time, every single day. But regardless, thank you for listening. Stay tuned next time on Station Square. This is Robert Jackson flying off into the distance, trying to find a sun once the clouds clear up. But yeah, until then, I'm flying close to the sun. That should be my tagline. But thank you, y'all. Have a good one. And yeah, stay safe, stay healthy, and have a have a happy, great rest of the month. Happy June. And oh yes, congratulations to all the new actors for, Persona, and keep on winning, keep on trucking, keep creating stuff. That's pretty much what I want to leave off. Create stuff, be awesome, be humble, excellent, and also go get it and just do it. There, I did the thing. Happy? Anyways, take care, y'all. Bye. Persona. Woo! Woohoo! Persona.